what's up, guys? Welcome back to Headlocks and Hot Packs, and as you can see, we are back for some more Tuesday night trivia here with another edition of Wrestling Jeopardy, and this one, we at least have somewhat of an idea of what we're getting into. Looks like we're going to be specializing in WCW. I don't know why I did that. Nobody ever does that. My WCW knowledge, I feel like, is pretty good, so again, we're still shooting for that perfect score. I've come as close as having one wrong on an episode, so still shooting for perfect. I got my board here ready to go. Hopefully my math will be mathing, and I can keep track of my score pretty well. As always, feel free to play along at home, but let's go ahead and jump into it. What do you really know about WCW, or what do I really know about WCW?
Hello and welcome, wrestling fans. This is Wrestling Jeopardy. I'm Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah!
And allegedly, this is where the big boys play.
Look at the adjective, play.
So let's go to the board now and check out the categories you'll be quizzed on. Starting with WCW announcers, NWO members, WCW mini-movies, WCW tag team names, and last but not least, WCW goofy gimmicks.
Gosh, that's just what I wanted.
And if this is your first time playing, well, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a veteran, welcome back. Here are the not-so-extreme rules so you understand exactly how to play this interactive play-along trivia competition. My only request is that you leave a comment below with your score so I know exactly how you did.
Gonna put some butts in the seat.
Hi, kids.
All right, let's jump right in and kick things off with WCW announcers for 200, a stellar broadcast career that spans from Mid-South Wrestling through his run in WWE and now AEW. However, his work in Jim Crockett Promotions and WCW is considered his best and most passionate.
Really? Who was Jim Ross?
And that would be good old JR Jim Ross.
I would argue
which brings us to NWO members for
is
200.
Most
this wrestler joined the New World Order in late 1996 when his former Money Incorporated tag team partner Ted DiBiase offered him a spot in the faction.
Who is Mr. Wall Street?
Mano Manischewitz, I could go with so many different answers here. Mike Rotunda, Mike Rotundo, Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, Michael Wall Street, Captain Mike Rotunda, or VK Wall Street.
Is Wall Street joining the NWO?
Got that one too.
Moving on to WCW mini-movies for 2.
This one
for the first mini-movie, the man called Sting was encouraged to spin the wheel, make the deal in preparation for a stipulation match versus Jake the Snake Roberts at this 1992 pay-per-view.
What is Halloween Havoc? Yeah, I thought I was going to have the name of the mini-movie, which I still might in the later.
And the stipulation that was widely panned was the coal miners glove match at the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view in 1992.
Sting, I knew you'd come.
Such a
on to WCW tag team names for 200. Name the team of Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot.
Yep. What is Stars and Stripes? They were champs at one point. I think Harlem Heat won their first tag title.
And that would be Stars and Stripes. And let's finish off the 200-point round with WCW Goofy Gimmicks.
Oh, boy!
Hailing from the Emerald City, this silver-haired character was managed by the Great Wizard, a.k.a. Kevin Sullivan, in a creepy old man mask.
Who is Oz? Better known as Kevin Nash.
The event, Super Brawl 1991, a day that will live in infamy that saw the debut of the great and powerful Oz.
What a stupid idea.
All right, we're starting off the 400 round with WCW announcers. Before Eric Bischoff took his gig with WCW, what Minneapolis-based wrestling promotion was he working for?
What is the AWA? The American Wrestling Association.
And that would be the AWA, the American Wrestling Association.
It's definitely an association.
And we're on to NWO members for 400. Originally a part of Raven's flock, this NWO member was the real-life nephew of Hulk Hogan.
Who is Horace Hogan. Who had, well, I guess I wouldn't call it a cup of coffee.
It's a pretty sweet gig when your uncle has a lot of power at his job. The correct answer here is Horace Hogan.
Brother.
Moving on to WCW mini-movies for 400. For the second mini-movie, the man called Sting accepted an invitation to join Big Van Vader prior to Super Brawl 3 at his White Castle of Fear, located in this United States mountain range.
I think I got it. What are the Rockies? It's got to be the Rockies, right?
Come to the White Castle of Fear and play Vader's game!
That John
so
Denver's
bad.
full of shit, man.
Yeah.
And the answer here is the Rocky
Rockier than
Mountains.
this.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Brings us to WCW tag team names for
What was that,
400.
Kevin? Come on,
Name the
man.
team name of Alex Wright and the Disco Inferno.
What are the Boogie Nights?
These two were just a couple of dancing
I was
fools.
going to say Dancing Fools, too.
All right, let's close out the 400-point round with WCW Goofy
All right,
Gimmicks.
That one.
What? Dog.
Arachnaman, Brad Armstrong's web-slinging superhero persona, came to its abrupt end when this
Poor
comic
Brad
book
Armstrong,
company
man.
sued WCW for copyright infringement.
What is Marvel Comics? Because it looked like Spider-Man. Is what they were.
Your friendly neighborhood Spidey didn't take too kindly to Arachnaman, and neither did Marvel Comics.
Such a rip-off.
All right, 10 down, 15 to go. Let's kick off the 600-point round
All right,
with
we're 10 for 10.
WCW announcers.
keep it
Nicknamed
going.
the Professor, this announcer brought the smart fans' perspective to the call, and at times, there was no one better.
He was really good for info on the Luchadors. Who was Mike Tenay? I almost didn't say the answer.
And the answer here is the Professor, Mike Tenay. And that brings us to NWO
Crazy,
members
his TNA
for
run was
600.
so much longer than his
Tori
WCW
Wilson
run.
was brought into the NWO to seduce this wrestler.
What? Who was Kevin Nash?
Originally introduced under the name Samantha, Tori Wilson was brought in to seduce David Flair.
What?
All right, moving on
Was
to
she in the
WCW
NWO?
mini movies for
I
600.
do not remember that at all. I don't remember.
And
her
you
being
found
in
the
the
daily
NWO.
double, so tally up your score right now
Damn
and
it,
see how
man.
much you want to wager on the daily double clue from WCW mini movies.
I have 3,600, so that's what I'll wager. I'm still bummed I didn't get that last one. That sucks. I thought I had
All right,
such a
time's
good
up.
chance
Let's
of
take a look
getting
at the
perfect score
clue.
this time around.
For the third and final mini movie, The Man Called Sting and Davey Boy Smith were almost
God.
blown to bits before their
Oh, I know
Beach
it,
Blast
I
93
think.
match
Yeah, I got it.
versus Sid and Vader, who at this time were being billed by this name.
What are the Masters of the Powerbomb?
And the answer here,
Give me
who
it.
were the masters of the power bomb?
All right, sweet. So we doubled up to 7,200, but not that it matters because the goal
All right, we're
was
on to
perfect score.
WCW tag team names for 600. Name the team name of Ice Train and Scott Norton.
What is Fire and Ice?
No, it's not Flapjacks and Ice Cream. The correct answer is Fire and Ice.
Flapjacks.
And let's close out the 600-point round
Scott
with
Norton will wreck
WCW
you,
Goofy
Mr.
Gimmicks.
Callis.
Alongside his valet Symphony, this wrestler was lowered on a platform from the ceiling while he played the piano.
Wow.
Who is the Maestro? Who was pretty much a Gorgeous George ripoff.
His valet Symphony, who was Ryan Shamrock in the WWF.
That's right, it was
The
Ryan
correct
Shamrock.
answer here, who is the Maestro? All right, 15 questions
I knew she
down,
was
10 to go,
WCW, I
plus
forgot
Final
that she
Jeopardy. Let's
was,
hop back
his
in
valet.
to WCW announcers for 800. Upon Hulk Hogan's arrival to WCW, this announcer was promptly relieved of his duties due to real-life heat with the Hulkster.
We just saw him come back in December. Who is Jesse Ventura?
The body was not brothers with Hogan.
I don't think so.
Jesse Ventura was given the good old heave-ho out the door.
Tonight on Monday Nitro, Pasta Mania is got all my Hulkamaniacs running wild.
And we're on to NWO members for 800. This third-generation NASCAR driver was recruited to join the faction and even drove a custom-designed NWO stock car in several NASCAR races.
Are these official NWO members? I don't remember the race car driver's name.
True story, when I used to work in radio, I once interviewed Kyle Petty.
I don't know if that even counts.
I'm Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then you.
Moving on to WCW mini-movies for 800.
Those NWO ones,
Besides the man called Sting, this was the name of the only other recurring character in this infamous trilogy.
Oh God, it was the little person, but I don't remember his name.
The correct answer here is
Cheatham.
Cheatham.
Yeah, I would have never got that.
Who are you?
Brings us to WCW tag team names for 800. What was the team name of Bobby Eaton and Steve Kern?
Bobby Eaton and Steve Kern. What?
No, they weren't called the Fabulous Midnight Skinners or the Beautiful Doinks. The correct answer here is Bad Attitude.
Yeah, I never would have got that.
And closing out the 800-point round,
I'm doing so much worse on this
with goofy gimmicks, perhaps most famous as one half of Jim Cornette's Heavenly Bodies, along with Dr. Tom Pritchard, Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey joined WCW in 1996 and was called Jimmy what?
Jimmy Gigolo? I have no clue.
And that would be Jimmy Graffiti.
My God, that was him?
All right, we've reached that time of the episode, the most difficult round in Wrestling Jeopardy, the 1,000-point round. The steel cage begins to lower, the ominous music begins to play. You need to pop on your thinking caps. All right, let's kick it off. WCW announcers for 1,000.
5 or 6
known
wrong.
more for his 1-800 collect calls mocking Bobby the Brain Heenan, this announcer would go on to become the voice of Tony the Tiger.
What? I have no clue.
Who is Lee Marshall?
Good player.
Brings us to NWO members for 1,000.
That's crazy.
In late 1997, this wrestler left ECW to join WCW and instantly became Scott Hall's lackey.
R.I.P. Who is Louis Spicoli? I almost said Scapoli. Louis Spicoli.
That would be Louis Spicoli. Closing out mini movies for 1,000. Eric Bischoff has more than once discussed on his 83 Weeks podcast that this woman was in charge of pay-per-view marketing in the early 1990s.
Oh, God. I have no idea.
And her name was Sharon Sadello.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have got that.
And we're on to the final
this might be the
clue of
worst I've done on
WCW
any
tag
of
team
these.
names. You're
like 7
never
wrong
going to get
now.
this one. Name the team of Dirty Dick Slater and Mean Mike Enos.
Really? You're never going to get this one? Who is Rough and Ready?
That would be Rough and Ready.
Take that, callous.
And the final clue of the regular Jeopardy round comes from Goofy Gimmicks. The Dungeon of Doom was a cadre of cartoonish villains who assembled in a haunted fortress where the Master, portrayed by this Hawaiian wrestling legend, sat on a throne looking like Jabba the Hutt.
Whoa!
Who is King Curtis? I think it's King Curtis.
It's not hot.
The dude was covered in cobwebs and chalk, and his forehead was all scarred up from
Everything
years
about
of
that
just
was terrible.
gigging himself. The correct answer here
Yes,
is
I'll
King
take that too.
Curtis Ayakea.
Alright, yeah, I got like 7 wrong. Not very good.
Hopefully you scored well with those 25 questions,
Not
but
really.
this final Jeopardy is no laughing matter. Let's go and
I
find
see
out
what you
what
did
the
there.
category is. WCW pay-per-views.
I'm gonna risk everything.
During WCW's run, much like any other wrestling promotion, it had some amazing events take place and quite a few disasters. All right, so think about how much you know about WCW pay-per-views and place your wager.
All right, you guys probably can't see it, but I got 12,200. I'm gonna risk everything again because the goal is to have perfect score and totally not.
All right, time is up. Here is this episode's final Jeopardy clue.
All right, what do we got?
In no particular order, name the 3 pay-per-views WCW held in early 2001 before being purchased by WWF. Good luck.
What are Sin, Super Brawl, and Greed? I'm not super confident the more time I have to think about it. Sin, Super Brawl, and Greed. That's what I'm going
In no particular order, name the 3 pay-per-views WCW held in early 2001 before being purchased by WWF. On January 14th, 2001, from the Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, WCW put on Sin. On February 18th, 2001, from the Nashville Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, WCW put on Super Bra. Revenge. I'll give you that if you said Super Bra. And the final WCW pay-per-view occurred on March 18th, 2001, from the Jacksonville Memorial Coliseum in Jacksonville, Florida. The title was Greed. And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy. If you like what
that does it for another episode, just like Mr. Callis just said. Final score, again, you guys probably can't see it, but 24,400. This, I've said it a few times, this might be the worst I've done on any of these. I thought I had a good shot at going perfect, and I got like 7 wrong. But there was some pretty interesting little factoids in there that I did not know, so definitely an interesting episode. I'm definitely going to have to keep going because the goal of perfect score has not been attained yet. But let me know how you did in the comments down below if you played along, and of course make sure you like and subscribe. You'll see more of this coming up in the future, some more quizzes coming up on Sporkle as well. But that's it for tonight. I'll see you guys again on the next one.